Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta. 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 Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Balrup
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitham in Mysuru. Today's show begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the forever untainted, lotus-like feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this show, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Ganapati Guru Mekam Satchidananda Rupam, Vibhudhanivaha Sevyam Yoga Margadhirudham, Sharanamupagatanam Ati Sanghadi Vajram, Mama Hridaya Nivasam Bhakti Namro Namami. Once again, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam this morning. Today's show is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Vellini's Drug Mart Limited of 58 to 60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Aaron Road, Debe, Kokeye Supermart Limited of 14 Napari Mamiaro Road, San Fernando, and Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited of 1126 SS Aaron Road, Debe, and 225 Southern Main Road, Warrenville, Canupia.
Since the start of the Shatashloki Ramayanam series on Datta Arpanam, for the most part, each week a new shloka has been shared, as have the story behind it and some of the lessons learned from it. But today, a different approach is being implemented. Today, we backtrack just a little, as promised a couple of weeks ago, we will look a little deeper into the story of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test, as it is a story which can sometimes spark controversy. But the truth is that without even knowing some of the finer details of the story of that fire test, if one even recalls the meaning of the second, third and fourth shlokas of Shatashloki Ramayanam, one will know everything he or she needs to know to dispel any doubts which he or she may have regarding this story within Ramayanam.
Before we revisit those shlokas though, and before we look a little deeper into the story of the fire test, let us seek the blessings of Lord Ganapati. May He remove the obstacles in the path of attaining divine knowledge. May He bless us all with the proper understanding of the story of Lord Rama. Please open the Bhajanmala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com. Enter Bhajan ID number 17 and join Parama Pujya Shri Swamiji in singing this beautiful Lord Ganapati Bhajan laden with powerful seed mantras or bijaksharas.
Om 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 Gam 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 Om Gam 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 Om 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 Gam 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 Om Om Gam 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 Om 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 Gam 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 Om Om Gam 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 Vakratundane Ekadantane Vakratundane Ekadantane Vakratundane Ekadantane Vakratundane Ekadantane Modakagastane लंबोदरने
मोदकहस्तने लंबोदरने
बोम बोम गम गम गम
बोम बोम
गम 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 बोम बोम गम 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 शांतवदनने मंदगसितने शांतवदनने मंदगसितने शांतवदनने मंदगसितने
शांतवदनने मंदगसितने
स्थूलरूपने शूर्पकर्णने स्थूलरूपने
शूर्पकर्णने
बोम 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 गम गम गम
बोम 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 गम गम गम
बोम 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 गम गम गम
बोम
सिद्धिदूतने बुद्धिदातने
सिद्धिदूतने बुद्धिदातने
सिद्धिदूतने
सिद्धिदूतने
बुद्धिदातने आदिपूजने सच्चिदानंदने आदिपूजने
सच्चिदानंदने
आदिपूजने सच्चिदानंदने
आदिपूज्यने सच्चिदानंदने
बोम 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 गम 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 बोम बोम गम 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 बोम बोम गम 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 गम
If from a small seed a huge tree can grow, what potential must exist in a divine seed letter or Bij mantra? Om and Gam are two Bijaksharas used in the worship of Lord Ganapati. How blessed we all are on this Sunday morning during this auspicious Sandhya hour to have listened to Lord Ganapati's namesake, Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, worship that Lord through that extremely powerful and beautiful self-composed bhajan.
You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam, which is coming to you today on 103.1 FM through the grace of Puja Sri Swamiji and thanks to the kind sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. Special thanks go out to them, as they do to you, dear listener, for starting your week by joining us for this devotional hour.
Before that bhajan, you heard that the second, third, and fourth shlokas of Shatashloki Ramayanam, in other words, the second to fourth shlokas of that 100-verse abridged version of Srimad Ramayanam, have within them answers to any questions which one may have about Lord Rama and his subjecting Sita Devi to the fire test after she was freed from the clutches of Ravana.
But before we look at what Ravita means when she says that, let us recall the words of those shlokas. Please open your Bhajanmala app once again. This time enter Stotra number 2295, scroll down to past the Prarthana and join Puja Appaji as he chants the second to fourth shlokas of Shatashloki Ramayanam.
कोन्वस्मिन् साम्प्रतं लोके गुणवान् कश्च वीर्यवान् धर्मज्ञश्च कृतज्ञश्च सत्यवाक्यो दृढव्रतः चारित्रेण च को युक्तः सर्वभूतेषु को हितः विद्वान् कः समर्थश्च कश्चैकप्रियदर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को नसूयकः कस्य बिभ्यति देवाश्च जातरोषस्य संयुगे.
For those of you who have been listening to this series from inception, you may recall that Shatashloki Ramayanam starts with Valmiki Maharishi asking his guru Narada Maharishi, whether or not there was anyone on earth who possessed all 16 virtuous traits which are mentioned in the 3 shlokas you just heard.
And as we recall what traits were mentioned in those 3 verses, as we recall that Narada Maharishi responded to those questions by saying that only Lord Rama possessed those 16 traits, you are encouraged to bear in mind the story you heard over the past couple of weeks, the story of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test. Let the knowledge imparted by the 2nd to 4th shlokas of Shatashloki Ramayanam dispel any doubts which may exist.
Those 16 traits which Narada confirmed that only Lord Rama possessed were 1. Gunavan, meaning principled or virtuous. 2. Viryavan, or valorous. 3. Dharmagnya, meaning possessing complete knowledge of dharma or the rules of righteousness. 4. Kritagnya, or full of gratitude or grateful. 5. Satyavakyo, or truthful. 6. Dridhavrataha, meaning of firm determination. 7. Charitrena yuktaha, of excellent conduct. 8. Sarvabhuteshu hitaha, meaning one who harbors universal love, or one who seeks the well-being of all beings in creation.
The 9th trait about which Valmiki Maharishi had asked was Vidwan, meaning one who knows everything that there is to be known. 10th was Samarthaha, meaning skillful. 11th was Eka Priyadarshanaha, meaning the one who is always pleasing to look at. 12. Atmavan, meaning one who has his mind under his complete control. 13. Jita Krodho, meaning has conquered anger. 14. Jyutiman, meaning brilliant or one whose illumination or brightness causes astonishment to others. 15. Anasuyakaha, meaning free of jealousy. And the 16th trait was Bhibhyati Devashcha, meaning one whose aggressiveness in war causes fear even among celestials.
So listeners, let us see how this helps us to process the katha of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test. Lord Rama is Gunavan. A principled and virtuous person would not subject anyone to anything without just cause.
That Lord was Dharmagnya. So if he possessed the complete knowledge of dharma or the rules of righteousness, there is no way that he would, without just cause, subject Sita Devi to any harsh treatment.
Lord Rama was Satyavakyo. If everything he did and said was embedded in truth, then why should there ever be reason to question his treatment of Sita Devi, especially since he was also Charitrena Yuktaha, or of excellent conduct? And listeners, an important point to note here is that when Valmiki Maharishi wrote Ramayanam, his intention was not to praise Lord Rama. His intention was to retell, in poetic style, the story told to him by his guru, Narada Maharishi.
The word Nara means one who distributes his knowledge across all planes. That is why Narada Maharishi has this name. So when we see flattering descriptions of Lord Rama, and I mean no offense by the word flattering, it is not for a second meant to imply that the Lord is swayed by flattery, but it is just being used here to help get a description across. When Lord Rama is being described using flattering words in Ramayanam, we should never take this to be the opinion of sage Valmiki or Narada Maharishi. Instead, we should take this to be divine knowledge which is being shared with us.
And speaking of divine knowledge, today and over the past several months, we have been seeing how Puja Appaji uses his discourses on various subjects, in this case on Shatashloki Ramayanam, to share divine knowledge with us. But another teaching tool he uses is bhajan. It is a teaching tool which his own guru, his mother Jayalakshmi Mata, used when Puja Appaji was still very little. Puja Appaji's bhajans are Vedanta in the form of song. Let us join him now in putting melody to Vedanta as we join in singing today's Devi Bhajan, the lyrics to which you can find by entering Bhajan ID number 2253 on the Bhajanmala app or website.
Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta
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 Hrudi Kalage Muni Viditam Shiva Vanitam Shri Lalitam
Hrudi Kalage Muni Vinutam Shiva Vanitam Shri Lalitam
Hrudi Kalage Muni Viditam Shiva Vanitam Shri Lalitam
Hrudi Kalage Muni Viditam Shiva Vanitam Shri Lalitam Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta
Duti Ruchiram Giri Madhura
Dyuti Ruchiram Giri Madhura
Shiva Sukaram Vidruta Sharam
Shiva Sukaram Vidruta Sharam
Ati Vimalam Hrudi Mrudulam
Ati Vimalam Hrudi Mrudulam
Chiti Sakalam Dili Saralam
Chiti Sakalam Visaralam
Shri Devi
Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta
Dita Danujam Utava Bhujam
Jita Danujam Utava Hajam
Dita Danujam Utava Gajam
Jita Danujam Utava Hajam
Gatarujam Priya Manujam
Vigatarujam Priya Manujam
Vigatarujam Priya Manujam
Vigatarujam Priya Manujam
Guru Sachida Nandamatam
Guru Sakshida Nandamata
Shatkamalo Parilasitam
Shatkamano Parilapsita Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta Hrudi Kalaye Muni Vinuta Shiva Vanitam Shri Lalita
Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinutam
Shri Devi Bhagavate Bahurupai Rabi Vinuta
That bhajan, released by Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji during 2018's Navaratri festival, is one which brings back such fond memories for anyone who was present in Mysuru at that time. But even for persons who were not physically there, that bhajan still has a way of bringing a smile to the face and a warm glow to the heart. What a truly enchanting bhajan. You are listening to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. Thank you for tuning in to today's show, which is coming to you through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji and thanks to the help from his Seva Kartas, Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. Once again, special thanks are extended to them and to you, dear listener, for your company this morning.
Today on Datta Arpanam, instead of moving on to a new shloka of Shatashloki Ramayanam, inspired by the 82nd and 83rd shlokas of that condensed version of Ramayanam, we are dedicating some time to better understanding the story of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test after being rescued in Lanka. We saw that early on in Ramayanam, Lord Rama is described as Sarva Bhuteshu Hitaha, meaning one who harbors universal love for all of creation. So why should there be any doubt that even for a second he did not feel such love towards his own consort Sita Devi?
Remember what you heard earlier. Lord Rama was Vidvan. He knew everything that there is to be known. And even if he did not, which of course is not the case, but let's say for argument's sake, he did not know everything. He did not know that Sita Devi remained perfectly pure. That Lord was still anasuyakaha. He was free of jealousy. So if he was free of jealousy, then why would it bother him that Sita Devi had lived in Lanka for so many months?
He was Atmavan, meaning his mind was under his complete control. And while he feigned anger, he was Jita Krodho, meaning he had conquered anger. So listeners, we see that when in Ramayanam it is said that Lord Rama himself had no doubt about Sita Devi's purity, we really have no reason to doubt the truth of this statement, spoken by one who always speaks the truth. When he says that the test was conducted for the sake of Sita Devi, so that her virtue would never come into question, again we have no reason to doubt the truth of this statement.
While that Lord took human form, to assign human limitations to him is myopic. It is short-sighted. He was, after all, Mahavishnu, the Supreme Lord himself. How could his actions ever be anything but ideal?
In many incarnations, the Lord can act in ways which are mysterious to us, but that is where faith comes in. We must accept that just as a parent knows what is best for his or her child, but the child may think that parent to be unsympathetic, so too the benefit of the Lord's ways may sometimes be unknown to us. Just like a child, when he or she grows up and matures, finds himself or herself saying and doing the same things his or her parents did, so too it is only when, through sadhana, we mature spiritually that we gain a better understanding of the Lord's mysterious ways.
Lord Dattatreya, in particular, is known for testing devotees. His appearance and his demeanor may have been unappealing to the human eyes or the human intellect by some, but for those who looked past that maya or that illusion created by that Lord, he uplifted them beyond anything we can imagine. So while yes, he is known for testing devotees, he is also known as an ocean of compassion. One only has to think of him, and in a flash, he is there, ready to rescue his devotees.
To such a compassionate Lord, worship is now offered. Please join Puja Appaji in bhajan once again. This time the lyrics can be found by entering bhajan ID number 243 on the Bhajanmala app or website.
This absolutely moving bhajan begs Lord Datta to step into a devotee's mind, which is the temple of that Lord. It says, "The drum in your hand, O Datta, which produces dhamkara, is nothing but your presence. I beg you to abolish anger, etc. in me by bestowing the riches of control of mind and senses, shama and dhamma. The tiny waves in the kamandalu or water jug you hold resemble sounds of lamkara, which denotes your existence. You wash away perversions and put me on the right path of perfection. I feel that soft sounds of drum come out of your rosary beads moved by your fingers' feather touch. They seem as though they are coming from the strings of a veena. O Datta, the essence of consciousness, remove the fickleness of the mind and direct it towards you. The conch blows loudly, hum, hum. I feel the sound as the primordial sound of Omkara, which produces the thought that you are all-pervading, from the motionless pillar to the dynamic creator. The rotating thousand-edged disc or Sudarshana chakra in your hand is a deadly weapon which creates a brilliant aura with your power only. It looks as though you use the wheel to punish the headstrong and vain devotees. I feel your presence in the sparkling fiery trident which declares that though your personality is beyond the Trigunas, it remains as Sat Chit Ananda.
Listeners, earlier you heard of the potential or power contained within Bijaksharas. This bhajan, a divine entreaty to Lord Dattatreya, is laden with such divine mantras. So please open your Bhajanmala app. Once again, the bhajan ID number is 243. Join in worshipping the Holy Trinity, the combined form of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva.
గణ మ్రోగెడు గుండెల గంటల రవళుల సాగెడు శ్రీకారా శ్రీకారా మనసిది కోవెల మాయల కావల మసలడి దేవా రావయ్యా రావయ్యా ఢమ ఎనయేడు డమరుక మందున ఢంకారా దుమదుమలాలెడు దుడుకు మనస్సున శమదమ సంపద నీవయ్యా నీవయ్యా తాల్చుక మండలు జలముల అలలన్ గలగలలందున లంకారా లంకారా కుల కుల విలువకు కలకల మందెడు కలునను కడగవే కమనీయా కమనీయా మీటెడి వ్రేళ్లకు వీణై మ్రోగెడు జపమాలికలో ద్రాంకారా ద్రాంకారా చీటికి మాటికి చీదర చందెడు చిత్తము నిల్పవే చిత్సారా చిత్సారా భం అనేడు శంఖం బంధున ఓంకార ఓంకార స్తంభం బంధున బ్రహ్మం బంధున జృంభితమూర్తివి నువ్వు కావా గిరగిర తిరుగు సుదర్శన చక్రము అందున తేజ ప్రాకార గర్వపు తెరలందు కనుమిన్నుగాంచిన మెరకులకీవే గతి కావా గతి కావా మిల మెరచెడు శూలము అందున జ్వాలామాల విష్కార గుణముల మూడిటి కావల వెల్గెడు సచ్చిదానందుడ నీవు కావా గణగణ మ్రోగెడు గుండెల గంటల ప్రవళుల సాగెడు శ్రీకార మనసిది కోవెల మాయల కవల మసలడి దేవా రావయ్యా
That bhajan is such a divine masterpiece. Bijakshras, a description of Lord Datta and the items he holds in his hands, a clue to his omnipresent nature, a plea to be blessed with that which is worthy of seeking, the Lord residing in our minds, destruction of our anger, lust, fickle-mindedness, and all of this set to music in the melodic Vasanti Ragam. Genius in the form of bhajan.
You were just listening to the present-day Avadhuta of Lord Dattatreya, Paramapuja Sri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, as he glorified that Lord through that self-composed Telugu bhajan here on Datta Arpanam. This morning's show is coming to you on 103.1 FM thanks to Puja Sri Swamiji's grace, as well as the generous sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Koke Supermart Limited.
So far on today's show, you have heard how the characteristics of Lord Rama, which were described at the very start of Shatashloki Ramayanam, and therefore at the very start of Srimad Ramayanam, where Shatashloki Ramayana is found, those characteristics help us to move past any controversy which may arise about the story of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test after Ravana's defeat. But is there more within the story of Ramayanam itself which sheds some light on this story?
There is indeed. Just last week, you heard that as a result of this test being questioned by the gods, Lord Brahma revealed to everyone that Lord Rama was Mahavishnu and that Sita Devi was Mother Lakshmi. This in itself was one example of how the Lord may have used Maya to bring about a good outcome.
You also heard that Lord Rama himself never harbored any doubts about Sita's chastity, but to quell any doubts others may have had about her virtue, he challenged her publicly. When her chastity was proven in the assembly of gods, men, vanaras, and demons, right there and then, any doubts about her purity were forever eradicated. In fact, Lord Rama not only directly said this to Sita Devi, but he actually also alluded to it when he told her before she entered the fire, "You, with a suspicion arisen on your character, standing in front of me, are extremely disagreeable to me, even as a light is to one who is suffering from poor eyesight."
Listeners, on the surface, these may seem like harsh, disagreeable words. But when we look at the hidden meaning, we see how these words were words of compassion. You see, here Lord Rama is comparing Sita Devi to a lit lamp. He's indicating that he knows that Sita Devi is not the one at fault and that she is as pure as fire.
Lord Dattatreya, in teaching King Yadu about his 24 gurus, cited fire as one of his gurus. And one of the reasons for this was because no matter what a fire comes into contact with, the fire remains pure. It remains as fire, untainted. So Lord Rama, by comparing Sita Devi to a lit lamp, to fire, he is reiterating the fact that he knows her purity. He knows that she was not tainted from being in the company of Ravana.
But the Lord also compared himself to a man with poor eyesight. Why? Well, it is a very beautiful and touching reason. Lord Rama is saying to Mother Sita, "I am not able to see your true self, so I am the one at fault." When we understand that this is what he is saying, suddenly words which appear so harsh on the surface are proven to be laden with humility and love.
And this is one of the reasons, listeners, why it is so important to have a guru in our lives. That word guru translates literally as the remover of darkness. In other words, he brings light, he brings clarity, he brings wisdom to us through so many different ways, including clarifying doubts we may have. So, as a mark of gratitude for all that he does, let us join in worshipping such a guru now as we chant Sri Guru Ashtakam. You can find the words to this divine stotra by entering stotra ID number 2293 on the Bhajan Mala app or website and scrolling down to just past the end of Sri Guru Gita.
शरीरं सुरूपं तथा वा कळत्रं यशश्चारुचित्रं धनं मेरुतुल्यं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् कळत्रं धनं पुत्रपौत्रादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धवा सर्वमेतद्धि गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् षडङ्गादिवेदो मुखे शास्त्रविद्या कवित्वादिगद्यं सुपद्यं करोति गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् विदेशेषु मान्यः स्वदेशेषु धन्यः सदाचारवृत्तेषु मत्तो न चान्यः गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् क्षमामण्डले भूपभूपालवृन्दैः सदा सेवितं यस्य पादारविन्दम् गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् यशो मे गतं दिक्षु दानप्रतापात् जगद्वस्तु सर्वं करे यत्प्रसादात् गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् न भोगे न योगे न वा वाजिराजौ न भोगे न योगे न वा वाजिराजौ न कान्तामुखेनैव वित्तेषु चित्तं न कान्तामुखेनैव वित्तेषु चित्तं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् अरण्ये न वा स्वस्य गेहे न कार्ये न देहे मनो वर्तते मे त्वनर्घ्ये गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन्न लग्नम् ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् गुरोरष्टकं यः पठेत् पुण्यदेही यतिर्भूपतिर्ब्रह्मचारी च गेही लभेद्वाञ्छितार्थं पदं ब्रह्मसंज्ञं गुरोरुक्तवाक्ये मनो यस्य लग्नम् गुरोरुक्तवाक्ये मनो यस्य लग्नम् लभेद्वाञ्छितार्थं पदं ब्रह्मसंज्ञं पदं ब्रह्मसंज्ञम्.
Listening to and chanting Sri Guru Ashtakam today on Datta Arpanam was inspired by love for and gratitude towards Parama Pujya Sri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, who so tirelessly helps to bring light into our lives. One subject which he has greatly helped me personally to better understand is the story of Sita Devi being subjected to the fire test after being freed from the clutches of Ravana.
In his discourses on Adhyatma Ramayanam, Puja Appaji taught an aspect of this story which sheds so much light on what really took place. Remember, Lord Rama, as you heard earlier today, is Vidvan. He knows everything. Well, he also knew of Ravana's plot to kidnap Sita Devi. He had heard Agni Devata speak about this previously. He had also heard of the plan devised by Agni Devata. Knowing all of this, Lord Rama secretly said to Sita Devi, "Listen to me, O Sita. Ravana will come as a mendicant to you. So create a reflection of yourself and place her in the cottage. Meanwhile, enter the fire and hide there for a year. This is my command. I will come back to get you after 1 year."
Remember the words of Sri Krishna in the 7th and 8th shlokas of the 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkratam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Through these shlokas, Sri Krishna said that whenever righteousness dwindles, when unrighteousness is on the rise, using his power of illusion, he incarnates in a body. In every age, he takes birth to protect the virtuous, punish the wicked, and re-establish dharma or righteousness. And now, bearing that in mind, remember why Mahavishnu incarnated as Sri Rama. It was because demons like Ravana were terrorizing the earth. To rid the earth of Ravana, Sita's abduction would provide a tangible reason to wage war on that demon.
So when Rama approached Sita Devi with that secret plan, she agreed to it. She created an illusory Sita and entered the fire. It was that illusory Sita who saw the illusory dare and wanted it as her pet. It was that illusory Sita who was then snatched by Ravana when Rama went in search of the dare and then Lakshmana went in search of Rama. It was that illusory Sita who re-entered the fire during the fire test.
But okay, fine, the real Sita needed to hide in the fire while all of this played out. But why did the illusory Sita need to enter the fire at the end of it all? Well, remember that the real Sita was hidden in the fire and was, before the kidnapping, exchanged, if you like, for the illusory Sita, who was the one who was kidnapped. Now that the illusory Sita was rescued, that exchange had to occur again, but in reverse order this time. So the illusory Sita would re-enter the fire, and the real Sita would emerge from her hiding place. She would emerge from within that fire.
So listeners, the fire was not, as one might have thought, a test or even a punishment. Instead, the fire was a hiding place, a safe harbor for Sita Devi. She was entrusted to the care of the fire god Agni until such time as Ravana could be eliminated. The Sita who everyone saw enter the fire was not the same Sita they saw emerge from the fire.
And no one but Rama, Sita, and the fire god knew of this plan. Not even Lakshmana knew. Think about it. For the illusion to be convincing, it was better if no one other than those directly involved knew the plan.
So, having spent some time today reflecting on the different angles of the story of Sita Devi entering the fire, we hope you will join us again next Sunday at the same time, 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, when the study of Shatashloki Ramayanam will continue here on Datta Arpanam.
In the meantime, pranams and gratitude are offered at the revered feet of beloved Sadguru Deva, Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this show would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Appaji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's show. and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam, Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, heartfelt gratitude is extended to you for sharing your Sunday morning with us.
Remember, if you would like to listen to today's show again, the podcast of today's show should be uploaded to 103.1 FM's website later this week.
Simply visit www.103fm.tt, click on podcasts, and scroll down to Datta Arpanam.
Have a blessed week, everyone. Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಬಿಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಸಿಂಧೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಬಿಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಸಿಂಧೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗಂಭೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗಂಭೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗಂಭೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗಂಭೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಸಿಂಧೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಮಮ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ಸಿಂಧೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುರಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಪರಂಧಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುರಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಪರಂಧಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುರಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಪರಂಧಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುರಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಪರಂಧಾಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುನಾಥ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುನಾಥ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಘುವೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಣಧೀರ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಲೋಕ ಬಂದೋ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಕೃಪಾ ಸಿಂಧೋ 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 ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣ ನೀರೇ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ದಯ ನೀರೇ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಗುಣ ನೀರೇ जय जय राम जानकी राम 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 रामचंद्र रघुवीरा रामचंद्र रणधीरा रामचंद्र रघुवीरा रामचंद्र रणधीरा रघुराम परनाम रघुराम परनाम गुणराम दया सिंधु गुणराम दया सिंधु मम बंधु मम बंधु मम बंधु मम बंधु दया सिंधु दया सिंधु दया सिंधु दया सिंधु मम बंधु
श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय
श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय
सीतारामचंद्र प्रभु की
जय
सीतारामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः सीतारामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः।